Today I'll be rambling on around Cosgrove, and we'll start here. The aqueduct, 1811 it was built. We'll go up to the top now and go across it. The iron trunk. We have a plaque. We do like a plaque. The oldest broad canal, iron trough aqueduct. Originally the canal went up here by a series of locks, which was obviously very time consuming and not good for business, for transporting coal and other materials. So the first aqueduct was built in the early 1800s and it collapsed. It was a brick built aqueduct. So this one was built in 1811 and is still going strong. Going over it now, up towards Cosgrove. Quite high up when you get up here. And over that side, there's the river Great Ouse. When we come back, we'll be going down the side of the canal where the old locks used to be. There's two swans coming to see us here. We've just come under the canal in the horse tunnel. Well, this must have been rebuilt because it says 1919. And we're going to have a look down here now. While they were building the new aqueduct, first of all in 1808, and then after its collapse in 1811, they built a temporary canal, which is just down here. With all the rain we've had recently, there's some water in it. And along the course of this temporary canal, there's 8 locks between Wolverton and Cosgrove. So we're just coming up to one now. Here's one of the old locks. Just high and dry really. You can see the side of the canal there, the brick walls. Surprising that they haven't really been ripped out. Nice though that they're still here. Here's a handy information board telling us all about it. Really very interesting. So we're just about to go in the church now. Well, not in the church, but this is next to the church, Medlar House. It looks very nice, it looks Georgian. And here's the church. Originally 13th century, but there's been so many restorations. The Church of St. Peter and St. Paul. Oh, that's quite, well, not tiny, but compared to Hanslope, oh, I'm not sure what's going on here. I think this was probably the stables to Cosgrove Hall. Oh, what a shame. All boarded up and derelict. Mustn't have been in any condition to make into apartments. Probably sold off for housings. Right, so here we are. Here's a little map of the village. And we'll have a snoop round the churchyard. Some really old graves. Can't read any of the inscriptions on them. Just have a look down here. This must be a very early door. It looks lovely, unless it's been restored, because it's in very good condition. It's a pretty little church, and they've cleared all the gravestones and propped them up against the wall here. They seem to do that in a lot of graveyards nowadays, don't they? This seems to be the back of the stables to Cosgrove Hall, and this was obviously an orchard. And then we have some sort of greenhouses over there. The hall itself was burnt down, it's only a shell now, quite recently, in a fire. I think it was 2012. No, 2016. Well, the gate was open, so why not? What a shame. I'm sure it could have made lovely apartments. There's a bit of a signage here, coat of arms. Further investigations or snooping. I can see the burnt out ruin of the house in the distance. We'll just see if we can pop through here, these greenhouses. There's nobody about. Ooh. Oh my goodness, look in there. I'm a bit scared, to be honest. Look, there's the house. Right, that's enough. Walking along the road now to the little gatehouse. Oh, that's a handy sign to see now. There's some more of it. It was early 18th century, grade 2 listed, and it was owned by the Firtho family. Firtho is a little abandoned medieval village just across the main road. 2016, the fire that destroyed it, and here is a lovely little gatehouse. I've never seen one like this before. It's a complete thatched cottage. I suppose somebody still lives here, even though the big house is no more. We'll have a look round the front of it. Try not to get run over. Yeah, there we are. Isn't that pretty? The Barley Mow village pub, been here for many years, and we're going through there to the other side of the canal. That's called the Horse Tunnel. It's a quiet little village now. It used to be very bustling and busy when there was the canal at its full pelt and all the wharves, the railway not too far off. And then when the M1 came, 1959, in the early 60s, everything changed really. So we've got the old brewery here, which is now apartments. We'll have a look from the other side of the canal. So the old brewery again from the side was built in the 1780s, and in the late 1900s, late 1800s, sold to the Phipps Brewery, and then it became various warehouses and factory units, and now it's some really nice apartments. There's a church. Street names telling a story again. There must have been a leatherworks, tannery there. And here's the little bridge that we're going under the canal. And here's the canal, which runs right through the village. There's the brewery again, and some other flats called the Stocks. Possibly the village stocks were there. And down there, it's quite a walk down to the Iron Trunk aqueduct. All very quiet. Cosgrove Park Marina, hundreds of mobile homes and touring caravans built in some old gravel pits. And then here, Cosgrove Lodge Hotel. Looks a bit strange. We'll go and have a look. Well, yeah, it looked a bit strange from the back, but it looks even stranger from the front. I mean, I know places are closed with the virus, but this looks like it's been closed for a while. Not sure of any of the history of it, but there you are. This is called Bridge Row. Really pretty little cottages, aren't they? Called Cobweb Cottage there. Apparently, when they were refurbing it a few years ago, they found some old bread ovens in the wall, so that must have been a bakery. Cosgrove Priory. It was originally the manor house owned by the Rigby family for 3 generations, and then in 1764 the Biggin family bought it, and it then became known as the Priory. You can't see it on the camera, it's way down there in the distance. Looks like a very, very old house. Solomon's Bridge, built in the 1790s by the Biggin family who owned the Priory. There's these little niches in the wall, that some of which have been bricked up. Lots of detail on it, isn't there? The little parapets and the ornamental bricks. It must have been lovely. Well, it still is, but obviously when it was first built. New building going on there, and that's back down to the barley mow and the old brewery. That completes our ramble on around Cosgrove. Very interesting little village. I hope you enjoyed it. Join me again on the next one, or feel free to make any comments if you know anything else about the village. Thank you very much. Bye.